Hello again. I'm sure that most viewers in Britain will have noticed that one seldom sees a police officer in the street these days. They made a sudden appearance patrolling the streets in 2020, it's true. One would see two or three of them at a time that summer, but this was only because of COVID. Their role was limited to bullying people walking in the countryside, sitting on park benches or sunbathing on the beach. They were not actually out looking for criminals. These days, the British police seem to spend most of their time on the internet looking for supposed hate crimes and hunting down thought criminals, the sort of people who object to seeing men hanging around in women's changing rooms. I wonder if people remember when stealing was regarded as a criminal activity to be strongly discouraged. In those days, anybody caught stealing from a shop, even if they were only pocketing a CD or a bottle of whiskey, could expect to be detained, the police called, and then end up in court. That's because theft is one of those traditional crimes which most of us worry about. We don't really care about Islamophobia, transphobia, homophobia and all the rest of it. We do care if people steal our property. The law relating to theft has been changed in recent years, tweaked here and there in slight degrees, and the aim has always been to decriminalise it, bring it down to the level of parking on a yellow line or dropping litter. In the description to this video, I give a link to the British government website and a law passed in 2014 called the Anti-social Behaviour, Crime and Policing Act. Anti-social behaviour, it doesn't sound too serious a matter perhaps. Except, of course, hidden away in the small print is the fact that what is described as low-level shoplifting, which incredibly relates to goods up to the value of £200, is turned into a summary offence. That is to say, on a par with minor motoring offences. More than that, the Crown Prosecution Service will no longer act in such cases, which means, of course, that the police won't get involved. But surely shops can still bring a private prosecution. Well, they can, but the Act also means that they cannot recover their legal costs if they do so. This is why shoplifting offences reported to police that result in a charge have halved since the law changed in 2014. A triumph for bringing down the crime figures. Of course, shoplifting has actually soared since then, but it hardly ever reaches court. If by some misfortune the police do get involved, they issue a £70 fixed penalty notice and the thief doesn't even have to attend court. The result, of course, is that thieves now steal from shops without any fear at all of the consequences. At the local branch of Sainsbury's in Debden, where I live, I have more than once seen the staff stop thieves and relieve them of the goods they are making off with, but they don't call the police and they just let the person go. Bringing a private prosecution would cost Sainsbury's thousands of pounds, and it's easier not to bother because they can't recover their costs afterward. In this way, theft has become normalised, which gives a terrible message to society in general and criminals in particular. I do not personally regard £200 worth of goods as low level at all. This has been an open invitation for people to steal. It has gone hand in hand with the reluctance of the police to attend burglaries, car thefts or cases of vandalism. The most one can expect these days is a crime number so that we can claim from the insurance company. We have now reached a point where theft, whether from shops or our homes, is not treated as a matter which should be investigated or deterred, and we can all see the results every day. All the police stations which were near where I live have closed in the last 20 years. Epping, Waltham Abbey, the police station in Loughton is now closed to the public, and there was even a little police office once in Rectory Lane in Debden. The closest police station now is in Harlow, which is miles away. Anybody finding lost property at one time would have taken it to the local police station. Now they are officially advised to advertise themselves to try and find the owner. The police can't be bothered with such trivial matters as that anymore, like a lost purse. The police have effectively withdrawn from the public and forgotten that their role is really to be no more than citizens in uniform. I think they're so busy these days running around with machine guns and harassing people for using the wrong pronouns that they've actually forgotten that they are public servants rather than our bosses.